It starts with a hand sliding 50 bucks into a pink envelope labeled gas, another for groceries, one for nails. Each bill folded crisp and tucked away like it matters, because it does. This isn't just budgeting, it's rebellion. Against overdraft fees, against credit cards, against a system that taught us to swipe now and panic later. From broke college kids to full-time moms stacking cash like chess pieces, this trend didn't just go viral. It rewired how a generation handles money. Because while Wall Street plays with billions, millions of Gen Z are stuffing envelopes in silence and watching their bank balances explode. Her hands used to tremble when she opened her banking app. Jasmine Taylor was in her mid-20s, deep in debt, skipping dinners to stretch her last $10, and still watching overdraft charges swallow what little she had left. She wasn't irresponsible. She was overwhelmed. Credit cards blurred the lines. Auto payments drained her without warning. Spending was invisible, intangible, silent, until it screamed back in red numbers. So one night she grabbed a pack of envelopes from her junk drawer, labeled them with a Sharpie, rent, food, gas, nails, and filled each with what she had, physically, tangibly, visibly. That's when it clicked. Cash stuffing isn't some quirky hack. It's a complete shift in mindset. You withdraw your entire budget in real paper bills. You assign every dollar a job, not in theory, in actual envelopes. You watch the money leave your hand when you buy a burger. You feel the gas budget getting tighter when the envelope gets lighter. There's no guessing, no app, no magic, just brutal honesty between you and your money. Which is exactly why it caught fire. Because Jasmine filmed it, and because TikTok listened. Her videos were quiet, just paper rustling, nails tapping, envelopes being packed, no filters, no flexing, just methodical calm in a chaotic world. And it spread like wildfire. Over 3 billion views under the hashtag #cashstuffing. Teenagers, teachers, single moms. Gen Z was glued to the screen, not because it looked glamorous, but because it looked possible. It wasn't someone showing off what they bought. It was someone showing how they didn't buy it, and came out better. Cash stuffing didn't trend because it was cute. It trended because it worked. Because for the first time, broke didn't mean broken. It meant building, brick by brick, envelope by envelope. Tap, pay, gone. That's how most people spend now. Plastic cards and digital screens. No wait, no friction, no pause. But Jasmine noticed something strange after switching to cash. She hesitated. She'd stand at the checkout, fingers wrapped around a 20, and suddenly, it hurt. A real kind of hurt. Like giving up something that mattered. Because that's exactly what it was. Scientists call it the pain of paying. When you swipe a card, you're removed from the cost. But when you hand over physical cash, your brain lights up like you're losing something real. Because you are. The money is tangible, finite. You see it disappear. And that sting? That's the point. It slows you down. Forces you to ask, do I really need this? Before cash stuffing, Jasmine wouldn't blink at a $13 coffee run. Now she'll hold the bill, look at the envelope marked treats, and feel the sacrifice. That pain became power, especially for Gen Z. This is a generation raised in chaos. Recession, pandemic, student loans, rent spikes, layoffs, inflation. They don't trust the system. They don't want credit cards with sneaky interest rates or bank apps that update too late. They want control, something solid, something honest. Envelopes don't lie, they don't overdraft, they don't charge late fees. They show you exactly what you have and exactly what you don't, which, for a generation used to financial uncertainty, feels like freedom. There's nothing revolutionary about putting cash in an envelope. What's revolutionary is the choice behind it, choosing to feel the pain, choosing to face the numbers, choosing to know, even when it hurts. Because in a world full of invisible money and disappearing paychecks, cash stuffing hands the power back to the people holding it. By month 3, Jasmine could glance at her envelopes and know exactly where she stood. She didn't need a spreadsheet. She didn't need a bank statement. She could see it. If the groceries envelope was full, she could splurge on oat milk and name-brand cereal. If it was thin, she got creative with rice and frozen veggies. There was no mystery, no guessing, no guilt that crept in 2 weeks too late. Every dollar had a home, a job, a purpose. That kind of clarity, honestly, rewired her brain. Spending became a decision, not a reflex. She felt in control, grounded, focused, even proud. For the first time in years, her anxiety around money wasn't devouring her. She was sleeping better. She was saying no without shame. She was saving, first $50, then $500, then more. That's the upside. Budgeting that sticks. Spending that makes sense. A system so simple it fits in your purse, but so powerful it shifts how you see money. But it's not bulletproof. One night she left her envelopes in her glove box, ran into the store, came back and the window was shattered. Her bills envelope, gone, just like that. No PIN to freeze, no password to reset, no fraud department to call, just gone. That's the risk. No safety net, no protection. If it's lost or stolen, it's gone forever. Plus, carrying cash means juggling change, explaining yourself at registers, skipping card-only spots. It's slower, clunkier. And while her friends were earning cashback points and airline miles, Jasmine was earning nothing. No perks, no rewards, just discipline. But for her, that was the reward. Because the alternative was worse. Swiping without thinking, checking balances too late, waking up broke with nothing to show for it. Cash stuffing wasn't perfect. It was personal. It wasn't glamorous. It was real. And in a world obsessed with digital speed, sometimes the slower road is the one that saves you. The first time Jasmine stuffed her envelopes, it felt awkward, like pretending to be someone more responsible than she actually was. She sat on the floor, knees tucked under her, surrounded by $20 bills and a pack of pastel envelopes from the dollar store. Rent, gas, groceries, fun. Each one got a name, each one got a number. Not a random guess, but a real plan. She looked at her paycheck, subtracted the bills that couldn't be paid in cash, and what was left became her battlefield. She took it to the bank, asked for it all in cash. The teller raised an eyebrow. She didn't care. Holding the money in her hand felt different, heavy, real. Back at home, she filled each envelope one by one, watching the pile shrink and her categories fill. She thought she'd feel fear. She felt relief. The plan was visual, predictable, simple, but starting wasn't the hard part. Sticking with it was. The first Friday night out, she brought her fun envelope and nothing else. At the bar, while her friends tapped their cards like magic wands, Jasmine pulled out a crumpled 10 and felt the room freeze. But she didn't care. She felt the 10 leave her fingers. It wasn't shame, it was awareness. That's what the system teaches you. Not just to save, but to feel. Every dollar has weight. You start checking your envelopes before your calendar. You say no, not because you can't afford it, but because you want something more. She built rituals around her money. Every Sunday night she'd sit down, count what was left, move things around, and prepare for the next week. Groceries ran short? Take 10 from dining out. Car needs a repair? Drain treats and don't look back. The envelopes weren't rules, they were reflections. Of what mattered, of what didn't. And she learned something else. Don't copy what you see online. Some influencers had 10 categories, others had 20. Some stuffed $2,000, others $200. But this wasn't about the aesthetic, it was about honesty. The goal wasn't to impress TikTok, it was to build freedom quietly in the background. And the mindset mattered more than the money. Jasmine learned to love the pain of paying because it kept her grounded. She trained herself to pause before purchases, to count slowly, to think clearly, to ask, do I want this more than peace of mind? Most times the answer was no, and that's how it started. A floor, a marker, a stack of envelopes, and one decision to stop ignoring the truth and start owning it. Jasmine didn't set out to become a millionaire. She just wanted to stop crying in the grocery store parking lot. She was $78,000 in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, cutting corners so tight they left bruises. But she filmed the journey. No ring light, no studio, just her voice, her hands, and her envelopes. Her first video got a few hundred views, then a few thousand, then 1 million. People weren't watching for tips, they were watching for hope. Her method was simple, but the transformation wasn't. She went from dodging bill collectors to running a 6-figure stationery business out of her living room. One order, one envelope, one lesson at a time. Because people didn't just want her advice, they wanted her mindset. She started teaching others, selling binders, custom budget sheets, templates, tools. What began as survival turned into a system, and that system became a brand. Now her videos pull millions of views, and her business has cleared over $1 million in revenue. Not from crypto, not from dropshipping, from stuffing cash into envelopes and teaching others how to do the same. She's not the only one. Scroll through TikTok today and you'll see it. Gen Z skipping brunch to bulk buy rice, tracking grocery runs like stock portfolios, flexing $5 savings wins with the energy of a championship ring. 23% of Gen Z now uses cash to budget. Not credit, not apps, cash. Because it's clear, it's real, it's theirs. One girl used cash stuffing to pay off her first car in 6 months. Another quit a toxic job after finally saving a 3-month emergency fund. A college student stopped taking out loans for food and started stacking a $1,000 buffer instead. These aren't finance bros selling dreams. They're people finding peace in small bills and tiny wins. Every envelope stuffed is a promise to themselves. Every dollar saved is proof they don't have to live in fear. They don't need more, just a better way to use what they already have. She used to avoid her bank account like it was a loaded trap. Now she counts her cash with calm hands and clear eyes. No more overdrafts, no more shame, no more wondering where it all went. Just envelopes, worn at the edges, scribbled in ink, stacked with intention, and somewhere in that simple ritual, everything changed. What if you tried it? Not forever, not for show, just for 1 month, 1 paycheck. Pick your categories, withdraw the cash, feel it, track it, adjust. Not for perfection, but for presence. Could this analog method, quiet and unglamorous, be the thing that finally makes your money feel real? Drop your story in the comments. Whether you've tried it before or you're just thinking about it, your experience matters. This channel breaks down the viral habits that are shifting how Gen Z saves, spends, and survives. So if this opened your eyes, hit subscribe. Because money doesn't have to be scary. It just has to make sense.